We got our second trade of the month of December, which makes me feel like an idiot because I spent the entire last month saying, guys, no trades happened during December. Give it up. And now we have 2 trades in December. Kind of reminds me of last year. The Raptors made trades like a month or so before the trade deadline. The Nets are like, hey, we're trying to bottom out. Like, our team was too good. We trade Dennis Schroeder. Now it's time to trade Dorian Finney-Smith. And guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, Dennis Schroeder, you know you're probably not getting firsts in return for those guys. Like, you don't have a lot of negotiating power. So what's the point of sitting around and waiting? You know exactly what you want. If teams are ready to give it to you, just do it now. Dorian Finney-Smith to the Lakers. The Lakers have agreed on a trade sending D'Angelo Russell, Maxwell Lewis, and 3 second-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets for Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. I think this is a good get for the Lakers, personally. I don't know what it does in terms of turning them into a contender or anything like that, or really strengthening their chances at title contention. Now, I doubt this is it for the Lakers. I'm sure that they're going to be active at the trade deadline. I saw Jason Timpf point this out. I think it's a good point that Dodo is probably more of a Rui Hachimura replacement, where you can then put Rui Hachimura in a trade with other contracts to try and get a perimeter player and maybe one who's a little bit more defensive oriented. I don't know who that is on the trade market, to be honest with you. I know the Grizzlies were involved in a trade, or it sounded like the Grizzlies were at like the finish line for a Dorian Finney-Smith trade, according to Mark Stein. It makes me wonder, there's some talk about Marcus Smart. Like, could the Lakers tap into Marcus Smart? The Grizzlies are an interesting team to me because apparently Santi Aldama's on the trade block. I don't know. They're an interesting team to me. Chuckles, welcome to the Slightly Delusional Club. Lakers will probably just get Jonas. Could it be Fox? No. So actually, my brain was going more towards could they make a big trade to go after like an offensive guard? But then I heard Timpf talk about it, and it does make sense that if they're just going to be like, hey, we need to get better defensively quickly. Santi's on the trade block. There was rumors about that. I don't know if those were reputable or not, but there was some talk. So they heard the Mavs are the front runners in the Chris Boucher sweepstakes. Holy fuck, guys. We got to stop everything we're doing and doing an emergency stream. Lakers go for Bruce Brown. That could be interesting, actually. Do you rate Santi slightly? I do, actually. I would be shocked if they trade him. He's a free agent, though, at the end of the year, isn't he? Isn't that what it is? So anyways, I do like this pickup for the Los Angeles Lakers for a couple of different reasons. They're defensively, obviously, they've not been good, anywhere near good enough to be a team that wants to compete and contend at the highest level. This is a team that was starting Cam Reddish. I think Cam Reddish has 9 starts for them. Granted, some of that is injuries, Rui Hachimura and stuff like that, but that's how desperate they have been for any defense whatsoever. And look, here's the fact of the matter at hand, guys. Cam Reddish fucking stinks. Okay? He just does. They're 18th defensively. The Lakers are really not terrible. But it's just been difficult for them to try and string together any defensive momentum because they don't have a lot of good defenders on their roster. And the guys that they do have on their roster are Cam Reddish, who is good defensively. I will give him that. He is. But offensively, he's just a black hole. Cam Reddish is. Jared Vanderbilt. Did you forget that guy was in the league? I don't blame you. Never healthy. Genuinely never healthy. Obviously, AD's great defensively. LeBron's 40 years old now. Hey, by the way, happy birthday, LeBron. Happy birthday to you. LeBron is the big 4-0. Happy birthday, LeBron. That actually reminds me as well, rest in peace to Jimmy Carter, who passed away yesterday, 100 years old. Just thinking of old guys. That's why it reminded me of that. And defensively, they are one of the worst transition defenses in the NBA. Actually, they are the worst transition defense in the NBA. I think Dodo will help there. Dodo's not like this point of attack, guard the other team's best player guy anymore. He was really kind of never that. But he's a great team defender. And if they do go out and find a defensive-minded guard that they can plug into their starting five. And you could go Austin Reeves, defensive-minded guard, LeBron, Dorian Finney-Smith, Anthony Davis. That's not a bad grouping right there at all. Is that championship level? I'm not sure. But that's really not a bad group. Because LeBron doesn't run back on defense, neither does anyone else. Yeah. I thought Max Christie was that. Yeah, but you need a guy who's been there. You need a guy who's been there. This doesn't move the needle. It makes them better. I mean, does it make them a championship contender? No. But it does make them better. And if this is the first domino to drop for the Lakers, I'm interested to see what else is in store for them, to be honest with you. LeBron better not blame Dodo when they lose in the playoffs. So that is the sad part of this. If you've been following me for any period of time, anytime we do a prediction, like a trade deadline prediction or a free agent prediction, I think I've been predicting Dodo to go to the Lakers for years now. I for sure did it at the trade deadline last year. I think I did it in the offseason this year. And I think I did it in the offseason the year prior as well. It is a fit that's made sense. And it finally does happen. They also get Shake Milton. Like, Shake Milton can play a little bit. I've seen Lakers fans be like, holy fuck, hey guys, Shake Milton might be the get in this trade. I doubt that. But Shake Milton could play for them. And if you're the Nets, D'Angelo Russell, we'll see if he even plays a game for them. The talk kind of sounds like he might be getting bought out. Which, if D'Lo hits the buyout market, that's interesting. Now, aren't there rules there with the buyout? Like, second apron teams could not get a D'Lo, right? Because his contract was too high before the buyout. What's the rules there with the buyout guys in the second apron? Bought out back to Lakers, that can't happen either. Like, I saw people say the Timberwolves should get him if he gets bought out. Is that even possible? D'Lo ends up in Milwaukee. That'd be interesting. Like, keep an eye on where D'Angelo Russell ends up if he gets bought out, because that could actually be an impactful get for somebody. And Maxwell Lewis, who there's some people deep in the depths of Twitter, of draft Twitter, of Lakers Twitter, who think that the Maxwell Lewis inclusion here is very interesting, that he could turn into something serious. And we could look back on this trade and be like, whoa, they got Maxwell Lewis out of that? I don't know. This happens anytime a young guy is involved in a trade. People want to be the first. And if you just throw shit at the wall, it's going to stick eventually. People want to be the first one to be like, whoa, Maxwell Lewis, man, be on the lookout for this. That way you can go back 3 years from now and be like, I told you guys this. But if you say that about every young player, nobody's going to give a fuck if you're wrong at all. That's the secret, guys. That's the secret sauce, by the way, in case you didn't know. That is the secret sauce. If you just say something positive about every player, you're always right. Then you can just look back and be like, oh, yeah, well, X, Y, and Z happened. That's the secret sauce. Draymond just went to the Palace. Can you imagine? Jordan Nwora? Yes, Jordan Nwora. What trade was that? Was he in what trade was Jordan Nwora in? Where people were like, yo, Draymond got traded to the Pels. All right, you're done for the rest of the day. Okay? We're trying to have a serious programming here. Serious program here. What trade was Jordan Nwora in? Was it? I'm trying to fucking remember. Either way, it doesn't matter, I guess. But what's next for the Lakers? That remains to be seen. What's next for the Nets? Cam Johnson. It sounds like Cam Johnson is obviously on the market. According to our guy, Mark Stein. And Mark Stein is reputable. Mark Stein doesn't talk out of his ass. It was a Siakam trade. That's what I was thinking. The Brooklyn Nets are reportedly seeking multiple first-round picks in a potential trade package for Cam Johnson, per the Stein line. The Nets are now said to be seeking multiple first-round picks from teams interested in trading for sharpshooter Cam Johnson. Can they really expect to get more than one first-rounder for Johnson after the deal we just witnessed for Schroeder and Finney-Smith? Yes, I do. I don't think Schroeder and Finney-Smith's market affects Cam Johnson's whatsoever. Schroeder, an older point guard, on an expiring contract. You probably weren't getting a first-round pick there. Dorian Finney-Smith. Apparently the Grizzlies, kind of strange. Like, we knew every step of the Grizzlies negotiating in this. Anytime that happens, I immediately Anytime that happens, I immediately wonder who stands to gain from that. Like every step of the process, the Memphis was said to be offering, like we know what the Grizzlies offered. Memphis was said to be offering a first-round pick protected past the lottery along with John Conchar and Luke Kennard for Finney-Smith. That was the Grizzlies' offer. Lottery protected first-round pick this year, John Conchar, Luke Kennard for Dorian Finney-Smith, and second-round picks. Going back to the Nets. Now you might be hearing them be like, why the fuck would the Nets not take the first-round picks? D'Angelo Russell's an expiring contract. That's very valuable. And I believe Kennard still has years left on his deal. So the Nets just want the expiring. The Nets want the expiring contract. Kennard has, just 1 year left, $9 million. Is Conchar under a contract then? Look at Mark Stein about the tradable players. Where? Mike Brown wanted DeMar to come off the bench. That's why Lou Will came out and said, but who knows? Oh, Conchar's got $6 million this year, $6 million next year, $6 million the year after. I mean, not like a horrible contract, but for a guy like John Conchar, like, who the fuck wants to pay John Conchar $6 million? God bless the guy, but let's be honest. Maybe they're working on expanding the deal to send D'Lo elsewhere. Maybe. I would say it's probably more likely that D'Lo is a buyout guy. I do think, and also, the Nets have so many picks in the coming years. I do wonder, like, is there a world where the Nets make a trade we're surprised by this year? They kind of strike me as that type of franchise. Like, they're a little bit more invested in, like, win now guys than maybe we think. Next month, the cap space and D'Lo's on expiring contract. Yeah, that ended up being what it was. They're going to have a ton of cap to play around with this offseason. Is that the route they want to go team building wise again? I'm not sure. But I do think that they could get a first rounder for Cam Johnson. I do think that they can get a first rounder for Cam Johnson. Multiple first rounders wouldn't surprise me at all. You have to remember, some of the teams that are now in their contending window, the Thunder have 1 trillion picks. The Grizzlies have picks to throw around if they want to get involved in this. Why do the Nets always make huge trades that end in bust? That's just what they love doing. A first rounder, yes. You think multiple unprotected firsts? Multiple, I'm not sure. Could they get 2 firsts for Cam Johnson? Yes. What do those firsts look like? That's a different question. Are those high-end firsts or are those more so firsts? Kuzma should go to the Mavs. All right.